Hi everyone, happy Monday. It is Monday, isn't it? Completely losing track of days at the moment. I don't know about you. And it's February. So, yeah, welcome to a new month. Hope you guys are well. Thank you for joining. If you're joining live, otherwise, you might be seeing this on playback. Hi Lena, nice to see you. So, welcome everyone tonight for our I'll say our first, but actually it's our second time of actually doing this topic because last week I didn't save the video. So we are going to be doing a talk with the wonderful Jo Ferrone on living life authentically. So I will be bringing Jo on very, very shortly, but just wanted to add that I've started doing these lives on a Monday and actually 3 times a week. But Monday, I'm going to be bringing in different wonderful, inspirational people from, I've got therapists, coaches, authors, happiness spreaders, different people who I've met over the last sort of few years who have been an absolute delight to know, and I just can't wait to bring them on and share their wonderful expertise with everyone, and hopefully just kind of lift. I don't know, they lift my spirits, so I really hope they'll lift your spirits as well. So I'm really excited about that, and I love it when a plan comes together and you could actually start seeing, people wanting to be involved and getting wonderful feedback from you guys as well. So thank you for joining. If you're coming on over the next half an hour, so we're about half an hour together, so I won't keep your evening too long, but just enough to give a little bit of sort of inspiration. And so, authenticity. So, I came across somebody 3 years ago, a lady called Authentic Alex. And if you don't follow her, do follow her. She's on LinkedIn. And she really kind of opened herself up to talking about being authentic. And if authenticity is something that's, I know it's kind of one of those buzzwords at the moment, but if it's something that you kind of, in what context, what does that mean? So it's really just about being kind of your best self, being you, being able to show up vulnerably, talk vulnerably, be open. And to be honest, it's not as easy as said and done. And there might be in some situations where you really feel you can be you and be your best self. And then there's other times, could be at work or with certain people, where you just find you're kind of a smaller version of yourself. So this is something I'm really keen to explore and kind of learn more about. So without talking any more, I'm going to invite, or I'll just get Jo to join. Let's have a look how we do this. Okay, go live with, and I'll tell you her online. It worked last week, so hopefully it will this week. I'm lucky. I've known Jo for about 15 years. Here she is. How are
Good.
you?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty well. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's a good Monday, and we've started a new week and a new month. All is well.
Absolutely. I know, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's so lovely to see you and have you on. And I appreciate that we did all this time last week, so we're just kind of repeating it. But it will probably come out a little bit different, and we'll cover different things. So I'm really excited for that. I was just saying, well, you might actually say how long we've known each other for like 15 years, haven't we?
Goodness,
And
yeah.
and
It's
we've gone through a lot together.
yeah. I love that. We started in a corporate working world, and we've kind of come full circle, haven't we? Which has just been amazing, absolutely amazing. So it's always been nice to know each other as work colleagues and sort of respect each other as work colleagues, but to get to know each other personally and still be in touch all these years later is just awesome.
Oh no. Well, exactly. And we've gone through, or we're going, I say gone through because it hasn't stopped yet, motherhood together. We share that sort of passion for personal development and always wanting to grow. And so I think, yeah, just having that kind of all that sort of different life experiences have really helped, especially during the pandemic. Oh my God, just friends like you have really made a massive difference. So very grateful. Oh, wonderful. We have Michelle from Australia. So we very excited to see. God, what time is it over there? So, early hours of the morning. So welcome to everyone that's joining, and we're going to kick off. So, Jo, authenticity. Reason I wanted you in particular to come on is that you are probably one of the most authentic people I know, and you do. I know just through having your business, how you do a lot of these lives. So you're a lot more used to these than me, but you are very good at kind of, talking from the heart. You kind of do feel when you're speaking with you, it's so easy to get to know you, and you're very good at opening up and being vulnerable, particularly online. So, yeah, well done first of all, because it's not easy to do. It takes a lot of confidence and inner strength to do that. So, can you tell us a little bit about your journey into being authentic? Did it just kind of suddenly happen, or has it been a kind of gradual kind of journey to be where you are? So, I'm just really curious,
Oh,
and anything you can
that's
share.
that's quite a big question. So I I believe that authenticity is made up of lots of other things. So I would never sort of label myself, I'm authentic or I have become authentic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but I think that it's kind of, I wish I'd made a note now. I
No, go for it.
kind of a fusion of things as far as I'm concerned. And I'll probably go and read a dictionary in a minute and think, oh no, I got it all wrong. But my take on it is to be authentic is to be very honest, maybe get vulnerable. I think it probably does help to have a little bit of confidence, and that's something that I worked really hard on. Just as a little aside, I don't think if anyone else had asked me to do a live tonight that I would have done it if it wasn't you, and especially if it wasn't this topic, because I've had this problem with my eye, and I had to go to hospital about it last week, and I can't wear any eye makeup at the moment, and I'm very, I'm a pasty white girl who doesn't have,
Gorgeous.
you know, it feels quite bare without eye makeup because you can't really see I've got eyes without having mascara on, but I thought, oh, can I cancel Rebecca? I don't want to cancel Rebecca, but I feel I need to because I didn't feel comfortable enough to be live today, or tonight. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute. If you're going to say you're authentic, which I truly believe I am, then this had to be a step I had to make tonight. So actually, this is quite a big step in the
Yeah.
direction of authenticity for me tonight. Actually, which this time last week when we recorded it, I was as I would want to be, if you like, being seen online.
Mm.
So I think I've always been authentic, but I don't think actually I've, until the last few years, when I've really worked hard on myself and my confidence and my belief in me, I don't think I've been able to perhaps put it out there as much as I do now. And because I did lack a bit of confidence, even though I was totally genuinely me in an interview or in a school situation back in the day. I've always been me. I've never tried to be anyone else or anything different. So that hasn't changed. But I think the not worrying too much about what other people think can help you be authentic in yourself. So that fear of judgment has decreased massively for me, or I have decreased it massively
Mm.
over the last few years. And I do think that confidence is something that we have to. I feel quite emotional just thinking about it. Confidence is something I've worked so hard in the last few years, and I feel I'm just getting to the point where I'm finding my voice now, and I feel that it's people might be interested to hear what my thoughts are, or what have you. So I don't want to hide behind being someone else. I want to be me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got Lena joined, and she said, "Well done. This alone is proof you are." So I
Oh,
think
thank you,
it,
lovely.
but it is. It's like you say. From knowing you for so many years, I wouldn't say that you've changed, but I think there's so many things that, in a way, like you say, the confidence. And I mean, I've invited you to so many different online groups, and you've just gone, yeah, no problem. You don't even question doing or trying anything new. You just throw yourself in the deep end, and I think there's so many so many aspects I think that you've brought into what you do, and I think you help other people by doing that. You know, the fact that you are, you know, you're able to open up, you're able to get emotional, you know, all these different factors just allow you to connect with others, and that's why you're so successful in everything that you do. So
Oh, thank you. Well, what I'd say, I really love that you've invited me to some things because I sort of step out my comfort zone with some of the online
mm,
that you've invited me to because I didn't know anyone or perhaps know, how things were going to be. But what I will say that I have really, really lent into over the last 5 or 6 years is that it can feel really uncomfortable to push out of
mm,
your zone and get authentic and be yourself. But you never know what opportunities lie on the other side of that. So you've got all the scared stuff beforehand and the heartbeat and the clammy hands and your voice is all wobbly. Um, but that doesn't last for very long. So then you put yourself in a position where you're just being yourself with other people. And then there's that ripple effect, I think, that they then feel they can be themselves. And that's a beautiful
mm,
because maybe they felt they couldn't before. And then I just feel like then the world's your oyster really because you just don't know if you say yes to something,
mm.
there are endless opportunities that could come from that one yes.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I think you're, by doing that, like you say, there's a ripple effect. So you're starting something off that it gives other people to be confident. And I think also you do feel if someone's opening up to you, it allows you to open your what you're feeling as well, and then you have that real kind of genuine connection. And I think we've seen that a lot, haven't we, over the last year, where I think people are having to be so much more authentic with, you know, working from home.
Mm.
And you know, like Alfie's always coming in and out. He answered my phone the other day, and you know, it was a kind of a business call, and he said, "Oh, it's a doctor for you," and it wasn't. It was a work something to do with work, and I just picked up the phone. I just carried on as normal. I didn't even like apologise that, oh, sorry, my son answered the phone. But I thought a year ago I would have cringed at that, you know. But I think we're just all having to like live our lives a bit more openly at the moment, and people are accepting because everyone's in the same boat. I think because we're all in it together, you're kind of much more accepting of it, aren't you?
That's exactly the word. I think accepting. And I think you've got
Mm,
it's always worth thinking about how it might look from the other side because that person who was on the phone probably had a nice little chuckle and thought it was really cute that your son picked up the phone and they were accepting. And you would act no differently if you phoned someone, for a work kind of call and a child
mm,
up. Because we're all human, aren't we? We're all human, we're all malleable. We all, no one wants to make someone else look or feel uncertain or awkward. And I think we've got to perhaps have a little bit more faith actually in the fact that there's
mm.
potential for connection than disconnect. So let's just err on the side of activity here and just go
Yeah.
for it and not worry that perhaps someone's going to judge or what have you because they're probably not anyway. They're probably too busy worrying, about what they're doing or you know what sort of plates they're spinning right now
Yeah.
because I'm sure that many people are having to get very authentic because it's real life and you can't really put a filter over your entire life when you're trying to do meetings and
It's
yeah
true.
work what have you.
Yeah. No, it's so true, isn't it? I think it's just losing that judge worrying about what other people think. You know, if you can get over that, I think that's actually something when I hit 40, I'm going to really try and worry less about that and take myself less seriously. But it's still, you know, there's still points where you do worry what others think, however much you try and sort of, you know, take away that filter. So, you know, so we were talking about, you know, just that, like, and that was such a, like we were saying about tonight, how you were feeling, you know, do you come on or don't you? And I suppose like something that I've, you know, while I was doing my life coaching, there was that thing of, you know, fake it till you make it. And it's almost like, so I've had it a little bit with confidence. It's been like, you know,
if I'm sort of feeling a bit rubbish, do I say, there, feel a bit rubbish? Or I go, no, I'm going to show the world that I'm really confident, I'm really feeling good, smile and put a kind of brave face. So I'm sort of wondering in this sort of authentic conversation, if, what is the right way? Do we go, let's just be really honest, and I come on tonight and go, yeah, this is how I feel? Or do I put that brave face on? So yeah, so it's, any sort of tips would you give anyone who is kind of like me, grappling with that? Oh, do I do the fake it till I make it, or am I really honest?
I think probably it's one of the you're laughing at me thinking that's a really difficult question I've just asked you.
I just kicked my tripod nearly over and losing my sorry.
I'll catch you. Um, it- it's a really difficult one because you could argue, well, if you're faking it till you're making it, then are you being authentic? Okay,
Mm,
which
true.
I actually think yes, you still can be authentic because first of all, it possibly depends on what your audience is, on who your audience is. So, for example, the group that I run is a community of women that run their own businesses. Many are juggling um, partners, some have got children, and what have you. So I feel that if I went into my community and did a live video and said, life is amazing, I have got it all sorted, my children are geniuses, they're going to be going to Oxford, and yeah, my business is just flying, um, that I'm obviously being slightly over the top here, but that's not authentic, fake it till you make it. When I go into my video, go into my community and do a live video and share with them, I will let them know if I'm feeling nervous on that day, or I'll let them know whether I am struggling a bit with things. Um, I will also share good things as well if there are good things to be shared. But just by me telling myself, right, I know you're having a nervous moment right now, but you're still going to go on and do it, and almost telling my brain, you can do this, I think that's a different kind of fake it till you make it. And so I actually think,
Mm,
on the whole, um, we're never going to achieve that next step in life unless we do. If we've never done it before, we don't know we can do it well, so we've got to almost fake it to ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's not like you're lying or anything bad. Does that make sense?
yeah, no, it does actually. I think there is that little bit of convincing your brain, and you know, particularly when you, like you say, if you're going through different emotions and feelings at the time, but then there's also a bit about being authentic. So I think it's kind of it's almost, twofold, isn't it? Kind of using both of them together.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
you
they can
blend,
support each other.
blend them up in a mixing pot, and I think also just you talked about connection earlier.
Mm,
Um, it's very easy, particularly these days online, to gauge how people are receiving you. And going back to what we said earlier, it's not about judgment of others. It's not about whether people are like, yeah, brilliant, that was wonderful. But it's more about gauging, have I got this right? Have I gone a little bit far? Have I been a bit personal? Was that overly authentic? Or actually, is that resonating with people? Um, and I think that real life resonates with people. Um, and that's why it's pretty good, really, that I'm not some superhuman, robot type person who does everything perfectly. Because hopefully I'm relatable in some way to the people that I speak with.
Well, I think that's the thing, with the work that you do and building a community and the connection. I think, I see you in action even when we go out for our lovely walks. You just have that ability of connecting with people, and
Can't help it.
um, you are just, very naturally empathetic and understanding, and you have that ability, and and I think that's what people warm to. They really, really feel that. So I think it's about finding you, isn't it? I don't know, in the chaos, because I think, I know personally being a mum, doing my coaching, all the different roles that you play in life, sometimes you can lose yourself a bit. So I know for like years ago when I first started life coaching, I think every conversation I ever had with friends, I was trying to life coach them. And it's like, was it really me? But you know, when sometimes if you work too much, you know, you can sort of lose yourself a little bit. And I think it is just amongst all the different roles, actually finding who you are. I know if I just, you know, even with the homeschooling at times, I've just felt I've lost my identity a bit because I'm like, who am I again? You know, I'm at home, I'm
Yeah.
sort of helping Alfie.
Oh,
I'm, you know, where's my work persona at the moment? Is there one? And oh, I don't know. And then I feel I lose, you know, and if people ask how I am, I think, well, do I open up? Can I be vulnerable? Or does that look, you know, I'm not strong? And I don't know, in this whole situation, I have felt a bit lost at times. I think that's the way I describe it. And it's like, how does that affect your real authentic self?
okay. So
I don't
thank.
know. It's not really a question, it's more of a statement.
Oh, well, I was about to say I think you've just illustrated it perfectly, because what you have just said, you've just kind of said, you know, about a few things going on right now with, you know, with the homeschooling and what have you, and you know, you kind of, am I here or am I here? You know, am I mum or am I working? And you didn't know really where you were. So you've been really honest there, really authentic, and you know what? It resonated right the way through me, and I'm sure it would have
Mm,
done with other people as well. And I sat at dinner tonight, and Tim said to me, "How's your day been?" Because everyone's had a really good day today, which is great, really, really good. And it came to me last. So, how's your day been, Jo? And I said, "It's been good. It's been good. You know, I had a really good call this morning. I've done a little bit of work, done a bit of washing. You know, blah blah blah." I said, "But I've got to say, I don't really know where I sit right now. I don't. I'm kind of here. You know, I need to be overseeing the boys and what have you. Um, but I've never got the headspace to sit down and go, right, planning, or get on the phone to, you know, my clients, because it's just a funny place to be. So, you know, I'm not pretending that I'm sitting here doing full day's work right now, because that would not be authentic of me. And it just wouldn't feel, wouldn't sit right. So it's okay to be a bit confused, or a bit baffled, or just not really feel like, you know, what one day is going to be from the next to the next.
yeah. And it really is like that at the moment, isn't it? And I think the more we kind of open up and we're authentic with each other, then, you know, it makes you feel so much better, because otherwise you're just communicating all at, you know, if we all just, everything's great, everything's fine.
How would
Um,
that make you feel if I'd have come on tonight and you said, "How are you, Jo?" And I had done that silly spiel that I made up just now, and
yeah.
life's amazing, and you know, you might have had this day where you're just like, can't work, kids, oh, what, you know, I don't know what to do next. You know, you'd probably come off the call going, "Oh, what can I do better? Because why aren't I doing it as well as she's doing it?" Or, and
Mm,
that's not going to help anybody, is it? If yeah, I definitely try and break down those kind of barriers with people, and I feel that if you're authentic, it does invite other people to be a bit brave and a bit authentic.
yeah, I think that's what it's all about, isn't it? The more you can open up, then hopefully you know, you'll help someone, you'll impact someone's day by the fact they'll connect with you, but also you can get that real sort of deeper connection with each other. And I think that can just keep you going for, I don't know about you, but I mean, that could just, that
100%.
feeling can last literally all day for me, that I've got that connection. And I think that's what we're missing at the moment. We're not seeing people face to face. Our lives are online. So you've got to get that connection somewhere, haven't you?
Yeah, very much so. And I don't
Mm,
know about you, but I've, you know, a lot of people struggled a lot in January, and that is the case any year, let alone
mm,
pandemic year. And I was thinking this morning, where people kind of, a few people have been sort of bit good riddance January sort of thing, and I remember thinking this,
mm,
oh crumbs, okay, I actually, it's been hard, but there are some things I really feel I've achieved in January, but I didn't feel I could really talk about it, because it felt like the general feeling was that a lot of people found it a very, very negative time. And then I had a call with someone this morning, and she said that she'd actually found January to be quite quite a good month. She quite enjoyed it, and but she didn't, she kind of felt the same as me, and so is really difficult. And you don't want to upset someone, or I don't know, when you don't know how someone's going to respond. I guess you're just going to have to practice and see what level of authenticity you feel you're willing to go to.
That's it. And I remember when we talked about this last week, because I think we're covering, but we're in sort of different ways, aren't we? And I think there is so I think that's the thing, isn't it? Just it is testing the waters a little bit. And I mean, I was sort of thinking in the week, if there was anyone, and I keep thinking of new questions to ask you, but I was thinking if there was anyone that kind of has been your role model for being authentic. I don't know, like even a celebrity, or because I know for me, I sort of think of I would said at the beginning, authentic Alexandra Galvez is someone that I've talked about a lot with you, and someone I followed on LinkedIn. And I know she was kind of one of the first people on social media that really started to sort of be vulnerable and talk about authenticity. And
Yeah,
this was a few years ago. But then I was also thinking about like Ricky Gervais, like the comedian, where he doesn't care, he just goes to, the what do you call it, like the Oscars or wherever he
yeah,
does him. I'm quoting probably the wrong program now, but he just gets up and he's just himself. So whoever he's with, he doesn't change, and I really admire that about him.
I
He
do.
doesn't care if he offends people. So yeah, I don't know for you. Have you got? I say he's my role model, but I do admire him for just being this authentic. Doesn't change to suit people or a situation. But have you got anyone that you admire?
Do you know, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but that's not that there isn't someone, and I'll think and I will come back to you on that if that's all right. But I'll tell you what does really stand out for me, when you've just asked that, and it's, you never know what's going to ping into your head, do you? But what does stand out for me is that when I started my business 5 or 6 years ago, there were some people who I think almost kind of sold themselves with an authentic kind of tag. Not like Authentic Alex, who had it as her name. I don't mean a tag like that, but
Yeah.
almost promoted themselves in that way. But I didn't feel like it was genuine. So I suppose in a way where I've come from is trying to be the opposite of what I would never have wanted to be, which I guess is inauthentic.
Wonderful.
So yeah, I guess I learned a lot about myself by seeing how some others, perhaps acted in a way that just didn't feel relatable to me. And I don't know, I kind of I'm kind of quite proud of myself that I've been through some difficult times, not as difficult
Mm.
as many people, I'm sure, but and I've come out the other side, and I just feel that I've got such a strength in me. Perhaps I want to be one of those people that other people look to and think, do you know what? She's authentic. I like the way that she acts. Actually, that sounds big-headed. It's not meant to be big-headed.
No, I love that. I think how you have almost turned around what you didn't want to be like, and you've kind of used that as your sort of toolkit in a way to develop how you want to be. I think that's just as powerful, isn't it?
Yeah,
In the same
and
way.
I've always wanted to be relatable, and
Mm.
how could I be? I think we said last week, I'm not an actor. I can't put on a persona. So if I want to be relatable, I just need to genuinely be myself, because that's the only way it is, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
But
and you absolutely are. You are sort of a great role model for that. Just I said I've seen you in so many different situations, and you're just able to kind of dig very deep because all different groups that we've been involved and situations, and I think each time I always see you deep breath. Right, this is me,
yeah,
as a song, as a song goes.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
Jo is also a singer, and I keep challenging her to sing that song
I,
one day. Not now, don't worry, but one day. Yes, if you don't know, from The Greatest Showman, This Is Me. I love that song, and it's just so powerful.
That's right. And the words I picked out last week, I've got them here again, were not the obvious chorus ones, but it really sums things up for me. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. And I think that's what it is, really. And, you know, you can, the first time you sort of dip your toe in the water and try and put it out there, that this is who you are, it is scary. But if you don't try it, you're never going to be able to kind of develop that, I don't know, that authenticity.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that's, if you don't try, you don't know. And I suppose, you know, I'm just sort of aware of time because I know you and I can chat all night. So I just said sort of 30 minutes. So any tips, so just sort of finishing up, any tips that you would share and sort of that, you know, that have helped you along the way to live this. I mean, we've talked about communication, but, you know, I've kind of called this living your life authentically. So if someone kind of watches and goes, you know what, this is my year of really getting out there and really being me, regardless of who I'm with, you know, whatever situation at work, you know, with friends, with family, any kind of tips or anything on just making those sort of kind of living that life so you really feel, because otherwise it just saps your energy if you're trying to be something else. I know in different jobs that I've had and different with
Mm,
different people along the way, you know, when you're not being yourself, it does, you know, cut out a lot of it saps a lot of energy.
absolutely.
So we want to keep that energy, we want to keep energized, particularly at the moment. We really need our energy and
Okay.
we really need connection. So any tips, Jo?
I'm going to give you like a little two-pronged approach, which I hope will make sense to people.
Mhm.
First of all, I think it does start with you. It starts with yourself. So I think we have got to treat ourselves as we would anyone else. So with respect, with kindness, with love and acceptance. And then once you've kind of been working on that a while, because that doesn't always come easily at all, that can require an awful lot of work, and I know that. Um, Try not to compare yourself with anyone, because like you just said, you know, that's, if you're comparing, you're possibly trying to be more like somebody else, or change your personality. Like you said, that's energy sapping, so that's not going to benefit you at all. And people, believe it or not, want to speak to you because you're you,
Yeah.
not you're trying to be somebody else. So yeah, I think it probably takes a bit of courage, but yeah, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just be you.
Okay, love that. Yeah, no compare and despair,
No, not allowed.
not allowed. No, absolutely. And take baby steps, you know, try things, test the waters with people that you trust. I think being around people where you feel comfortable to open up things, maybe try and, you
Yeah,
know, with the people that you feel really comfortable with, and then kind of work your way out. So,
yeah, I think so. I think
yeah,
that's, and that is acting with kindness to yourself, isn't it? Rather than throwing yourself in at the deep end and then, you know, feeling like it's all gone pear-shaped. Um,
yeah,
so yeah,
absolutely. And I think, yeah, being kind is so important. Thank you for adding that in. That's really important in anything that you try or anything you do. It's really important to look out for yourself. We need to look after ourselves at the moment because, you know,
100%. 100.
this is
I see that Louise has said comparing is so hard not to do, and I do agree, absolutely. And Instagram doesn't help, but it's such an important point. Yeah, Louise, I think we should perhaps, we all need to be a bit more open and a bit more honest about how we're feeling. And of course, Instagram is, you know, a beautiful, beautiful tool. Um, but I'm sat here without eye makeup on tonight, you know. I,
gorgeous.
it,
You're gorgeous,
I,
honestly.
it's raw, and you know, I would always rather get to know the raw person, actually, you know, the real person and all of their thoughts and opinions and what have you, than a filtered version.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful point to finish on, actually, Jo. I think that's, and I'm so grateful to you for coming on tonight, because it would have been easy I was trying to think of a plan B of something different I could do, but I thought actually I want Jo. I want Jo. So I'm so grateful for you for giving your time and just your authentic you, being you and sort of
Thank
sharing what you have. It's been really, and Lena said we've enjoyed your authentic chat, ladies. Thank you. It has been. I
you.
look forward to many more with you, Jo, and other people that I bring on.
I look forward to watching them. Thank you so much. It's been lovely. I wouldn't have missed it for the world, my love.
Yeah, and all I'll just add is if you'd like to follow Jo, I really highly recommend her work. So, How Does She Do It Life is her tag. And yeah, if you're a female woman, female in business, and yeah, she has wonderful networking events, and she's just a great person to know and follow. So please, yeah, do find her and yeah, and carry on being inspired by her. So I know I am. So thank you.
Oh, likewise. Thank you for having me.
That's okay. Happy February and happy Monday. We've started the week on a positive note,
Yeah,
and yeah,
love
I've
it.
been looking forward to all weekend. So,
Me too. I will have a great week, won't you? And I will.
yeah.
I'm going to let you switch off so I don't delete it for you.
Oh God, here we go. I am not going to delete it this time, Jo. Fingers crossed. Okay, thank you for watching, everyone. Have a lovely evening, and I'll see you tomorrow for the Self-Care Tuesday tip. Tip. Okay, speak to you later. Have a nice evening, Jo.
Bye.
Bye. Right, how do we leave?